Ohana means family, and Stitch means big box office, baby! Lilo and Stitch, the live-action remake version, released this past weekend in 2025, and is directed by Dean Fleischer-Camp, who's also behind such films like Fraud and Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. And this film is starring Sydney Elizabeth Agudong, Billy Magnuson, Hannah Waddingham, Chris Sanders, Courtney B. Vance, Zach Galifianakis, and introducing Maya Kaloa as Lilo. Subject 626 has been sentenced to exile in the universe, but he manages to escape his captivity and crash land on a strange planet that is famous for inhabiting mosquitoes. And in order to evade the people coming after him, he disguises himself as a local wildlife known as a dog and comes into the possession of one of the most adorable kid actors you've ever seen in your entire life, Lilo. But 626 is a menace to society and makes home living and just their entire lives a living hell. So Lilo has to convince her sister to keep Stitch, who is 626, but her sister is trying to find jobs, and if she can't find jobs, then child support is going to come and take Lilo away, and that's her sister, and she doesn't want that to happen, and oh my god, I'm getting teary-eyed just thinking about it. So let me preface this review by saying that I am brand new to the Lilo and Stitch universe. The first time that I watched the animated first feature film was last week, leading up to the release of the live-action movies, so I don't have 20 years of nostalgia and emotional connection to the animated film as so many other people out there. I will say, though, that the animated Lilo and Stitch is one of the best animated films I have ever seen. It's one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. I believe I gave it a perfect 5 out of 5 score. And I've heard several other reviewers out there on YouTube and all other social media platforms just panning this film about how wrong it is and how it left certain characters out and how it left out certain plot points that were in the animated film and that were so important to the plot of that movie. And hey, it's their review. If you're watching this review and you feel the same way, that is totally your opinion, and that's the beautiful thing about art. You can get several different emotional reactions to the art that you put out there for the public to consume. But please know that the experience that I had with my wife going to the theater and listening to all of the families and all of the kids just cackling and having a great time in that theater, and then looking over at my wife through several points in this movie where she's just a ball of tears, because this story of Nani and Lilo and how they're trying to remain together and build a better future together and trying to convince child services that, hey, we are good as a family. Yes, we are a broken family, but we are family and we need to stick together. That hits very close to home for her because she had to deal with a very similar situation. So for her to see what's happening on screen, she's just reflecting her own life with what the characters are doing on screen, and then me watching her do that. That's an emotional experience for me, and I love seeing emotional responses like that from witnessing art, from witnessing a film on screen. So I'm gonna say, I had a wonderful time watching this movie. I had a strong emotional connection to this film and the story and to these performances. The characters and the little things that they left out from the animated film weren't that big of a deal, in my opinion. Honestly, now that I think about it, I can't even remember the things that they cut out. So I know someone out there in the comments is probably going to correct me and tell me all the things that they left out and how wrong it is. But for me, like I said, not having nostalgia with this film, just being brand new to it, didn't bother me one bit. Because the core essence of the story that needs to be there is there with this film. This story, this movie is about Ohana. It is about family. It's about not leaving one member of your family behind, regardless of it's the system trying to separate you, regardless of if it's a disagreement or some separation between ideals between family members. You're still family. And then with the inclusion of Stitch into this family, it's not just about the blood family that you have at the start of your life, it's also about the family that you make along the way with this adorable little dog-like blue alien terror creature who is absolutely freaking adorable. I love him so much. And going into this movie, that was never the issue for me, or that was never the worry for me. This is Disney. They know how to make adorable animalistic creatures and place them on screen, whether it's animation, whether it's CGI, doesn't matter. They are experts at this, so I knew that Stitch was going to look and just act amazing in this film. Like I said, he's absolutely adorable. The main thing I was worried about, and I'm sure the casting directors and the people making this version of this film, the thing that you have to worry about is casting the right Lilo. And my god, I think they found the perfect Lilo in Maya Kaloa. This adorable little girl who is able to play off of this CGI character of Stitch, but then also have this great relationship with Nani, played by Sydney Elizabeth Agudong. And I think that their relationship as sisters, one older sister and trying to develop her own life and develop her own future, and balancing the ideals of, well, I would like to go off and become a marine biologist, or as Lilo would say in this film, go and join the Marines. But she also has a responsibility to her sister and to take care of her and to nurture her and make sure that she is okay, because if she doesn't, then child services is going to take her and she's going to be in the system. And it's been well documented, especially in this country, that the orphan system is not the frickin' best. I just think the casting here is exceptional, and how these characters play off of each other, the story that develops over the course of this film. Again, it just hit me emotionally. I was in tears at several points while watching this movie. And all for the good reasons, not some of you reviewers out there who were like, they're ruining my animated feature from 20 years ago. My idea is on the whole Disney animated remake live action situation that they've been doing for the last, oh god, decade, 15 years, is that, you know, they put out a live action film and sometimes they're great. Sometimes they're way better than the animated feature. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're absolutely terrible. But you know what? We still have the original animated film that is near and dear to your hearts and that you have nostalgia for. So if the live action version sucks in your opinion, you still got the animated version, and you can just go back to that one. Me, though, I can see myself going back to watch both of these. I love the animated film, and I absolutely love this film. And maybe that just makes me weird. Maybe that discredits me as a reviewer here on YouTube. I don't care. I'm just completely honest. And I had a beautiful, emotional experience with this, with my wife, and seeing her reaction to it. This just hits close to home for my family. And for a film that's all about family, if it hits you in the feels in regards to family, then I don't see how you couldn't love this movie. I'm gonna give Lilo and Stitch, the live action version, 4.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
So guys, if you've seen Lilo and Stitch, what did you think about it? I hesitate asking this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Which version do you prefer? Do you prefer the animated feature or the new live-action CGI version? Whatever you thought, comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I'm releasing next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.